the more hack organization right now than the Cowboys with Jerry Jones and Mike McCarthy.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Oh my gosh.
What did
Love
they
it.
do?
Two schlubs. Oh, they took Neville Gallimore. He's actually a good player.
We are back live. We're about halfway. Well, we're deep into the third round now. We're nearing up to that Patriots 87th pick. We've had Kyle Duggar and Josh Uche, two defensive guys to the Patriots so far. We'll let some people come on the stream. Feel free to drop your questions in the live chat and we'll answer your questions right here live. Guys, how do you think the Patriots draft has gone so far?
I'm getting more and more sold on it, based on the film that we watch of Kyle Duggar and what he might be able to do all over the defense. And Josh Uche, I love his attitude. He's going to bring an intrinsic kind of an intangible quality to that Patriots defense. I think the Patriots defense is going to be much more versatile and a lot quicker and faster this year. And I think that's what Belichick was looking at toward the end of last year when he saw the defense start to break down.
Yeah, certainly speed, but also versatility. I tweeted that out. That's the name of the game right now for New England. You got two players in Duggar and Uche that can do multiple things on your defense. They can play multiple spots. Both of them are very versatile, very athletic guys that can just do things that we've seen other Patriot prototypes do in those positions. You know, with a guy like Duggar, the more I watch him, the more I think about the pick, the more I do like it. I know that people are reluctant for a Division II prospect. On top of that, the fact that he is another defensive back in the second round, I think sits sour with Patriots fans, but give the guy a chance. This is not a Jordan Richards type of pick where he's a bad athlete. This is a freak athlete that has been a freak athlete for his entire life, really going back to high school, where he put up some serious numbers as both a running back and a safety in high school. And he absolutely dominated in college at the D2 level, which is what you want to see. But it's really versatility from both players. And I think that speed and youth in some important positions that they really needed. And they hit two positions of need there as edge rusher, linebacker, and also safety.
You know, and just looking at the Las Vegas Raiders taking Bauman out of Kentucky made me start to think about how Belichick tries to stay ahead of the curve. He's been in it for so long, right? 20 years with the Patriots drafting. But when you take a look at a guy like Bauman, he played quarterback last year for Kentucky, but he can also play slot receiver. He can also run the ball. So a lot of people have been bringing up the question, what do you do when a guy like that comes on the field? Well, when you have a guy like Duggar, you can kind of answer that intangible quality and that unknown question, if you will, when you assign a player like Duggar to another player on the other side who can do many different things for the offense. So I think this is a case of Belichick trying to stay ahead of the curve with a very versatile player.
Yeah, the Patriots and Gerard Mayo and Bill Belichick and Steve Belichick are going to absolutely love once Duggar can get on the field. I think there's going to be a little bit of an adjustment period. Certainly the speed of the game going from D2 to the NFL is going to take an adjustment. And there's a little bit of rawness on his tape that he's going to have to fine tune. But once he can get on the field on defense, the game planning that they can do with him week to week, he's going to be able to change roles and morph into whatever type of player they're going to need him to be in the specific week. I mentioned it on our video when we broke him down, but it's one of those players that one week we might see him in man coverage against Travis Kelce. The next week he might be spying Lamar Jackson. The week after that, he might be playing deep safety and ranging over the top of a speedster in the division like a John Brown or somebody like that. So he has the ability to go week to week with him in a game plan type of situation and have him be a matchup specific player. So I think that skill set lends itself perfectly to a coaching staff like New England that knows exactly what's kind of the kryptonite of the offense. What's the one thing you got to take away? What's the one player you got to take away? And Duggar can kind of be that matchup weapon along with Stephon Gilmore and a few others to kind of go about doing it week to week in a different way.
Now we've had a safety and a linebacker be drafted by the Patriots so far tonight. Are we going to get an offensive weapon here? I know people are dying for a wide receiver, a tight end, maybe even a quarterback here in our live stream comments right now. We've got a couple people bringing up Adam Troutman at the tight end position, who's still available tonight. Is that a direction you see the Patriots going in?
I
could
would think at
definitely
some
see that.
point.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Troutman's still on the board. Harrison Bryant, who I know they have a little liking to, he's also still on the board. Albert O, I know a lot of Patriots fans would love to see them draft the speedster from Missouri. Ran a 4.49 in the 40-yard dash at the combine. So there's a lot of tight ends still on the board. And I know Cole Kmet already went off, but this is kind of the end of the third round was projected as the sweet spot for the tight end class. It's not a very good tight end class at the top, but it's a good mid-round class with a lot of different types of guys. Just kind of take your pick of, do you want more of a receiving tight end? Do you want more of a do-it-all type guy like a Troutman? So there's a lot of options here at that tight end position now that the Patriots can go with.
You know who's also still available? Jake Fromm. If the Patriots are interested, this might be the spot where they take a chance and take Kirby Smart's quarterback. Look, I mean, we know that Belichick loves his Georgia players, trusts the Kirby Smart program with Sony Michel and Isaiah Wynn. I wouldn't rule it out.
And obviously Eason, and then maybe at the quarterback position still available. And then Evan, we were talking a little bit about some wide receivers now in that second and third tier, a couple of them coming off the board here in the 80s, but is there anyone that stands out to you that's still available at wideout?
Absolutely. KJ Hill out of Ohio State, the slot machine from the Buckeyes, essentially Julian Edelman 2.0 at Ohio State. They took the Julian Edelman route tree, they gave it to KJ Hill, and he went for 201 career receptions at Ohio State to break the career record for the Buckeyes. It's a pretty good program to hold a career record in. So he's a guy that really is shifty, more quick than he is fast. We're going to get a lot of those labels if he ends up here. He did run a 4.6, so he's not a guy that's going to take the top off the defense, but he's got great footwork, accelerates out of his route breaks and creates separation at the top of the route, and runs the type of routes that the Patriots typically ask their slot receivers to run, option routes in between the numbers, crossers, deep overs, things like that. He can do that, all of those types of things. So he's the type of guy that I've pegged for them for a while. If you want a speedster, you want to add some speed to this offense, Devin Duvernay from Texas is still out there. He's an explosive, big playmaker, more of like in the mold. I can't really think of a great comparison for him for past Patriot players, but he's more of like a gadget player or deep threat. Those are the types of things you're going to look at for Duvernay: screen passes, end arounds, jet sweeps, and also the ability to take the top off the defense.
Absolutely. And the Patriots have the number 87 pick. The Rams are on the clock right now with the 84th pick, but the Patriots also still have pick number 100 tonight in the third round. Do you see the Patriots making two more selections tonight?
I'm going to say no. I think they trade down into day number 3. I have that feeling, that sense that they see they're going to see a lot of value in the 4th and 5th rounds.
Yeah, the only reason why I say maybe they do stay put with both picks is because they're loaded on day 3 with picks. They got tons of picks there. So I just, at some point in time, you do have to start taking some players, right? And they did take 2 already tonight. But I think that, knocking all those picks to day 3, the one position I will look at day 3, though, is that because this wide receiver class is so deep, you're going to be able to get guys in the 4th and the 5th round that can make an impact in year 1. James Proche, for example, out of SMU, is a guy that the Patriots were apparently gushing over at the Senior Bowl. Take that for what it's worth. But at the same time, he's going to probably be there in the 5th round. Patriots might look at KJ Hill and James Proche, both slot receiver types, and say, you know what, we like the value with Proche better on day 3. We're going to take a player that's higher on our board here in round 3.
Well, the other thing the Patriots like to do is they like to trade out of day 2 into day 3, and then trade day 3 into the following season or seasons down the road. That is also a possibility with the way, obviously, Nick Caserio and Bill Belichick run the draft. I think, the thing I don't think that Caserio and Belichick get enough credit for is reading the draft as it's taking place. And I think they make a lot of adjustments to their thinking in terms of what the particular draft pick that they have at the time, what kind of value that holds. And I think they do a great job of adjusting that value internally and then making a decision based upon that.
I know Patriots fans don't want to hear it with Duggar, but honestly, I think they read the board perfectly here. I think that they knew that Duggar was going to come off the board pretty shortly after that. Two safeties went at 44 and 45 in Delpit and Antoine Winfield just right after they took Duggar. And they also traded back from 23 to 37 with Duggar in mind, I'm sure. So I think they read the situation perfectly. And I agree with Trags completely that they know other teams' boards better than anybody else. And I think that that's one thing that's very underrated, is that they have a great gauge of the rest of the league.
And a lot of comments coming in now from people who are just joining us about Adam Troutman, who we just talked about at depth, about how he would be a great fit with the Patriots. There's a good chance that the Patriots could target a tight end, but do you guys think that it's hands down absolutely an offensive player that the Patriots are taking here at 87?
Evan?
I mean, I want to think it is, because they go defense with their first two picks. And at some point, you're going to have to get an impact player on offense to help out Jared Stidham or whoever the quarterback is. I think it's looking more and more the way this draft is going, like it's going to be Stidham. At some point, you got to get him some weapons. You know, you can't just roll it back with Julian Edelman and N'Keal Harry and Mohamed Sanu in that tight end group and think that Jared Stidham is going to fare better than Tom Brady did last year.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And certainly this is, they have to address the offense for a couple of reasons. First of all, I do think they need more speed on offense, but I think they need more pass receiving capability in terms of go-to targets. And that was, to me, one of the things that stood out about the Patriots offense. Really, if you go back to even when they won the Super Bowl in 2018 and beat the Rams 13-3 in Super Bowl 53, Tom Brady was not able to spread the ball around as profusely as he did earlier in his career, even in the early part of the 2010s. And I think the Patriots have to offensively get back to the point where there are plenty of go-to targets in the passing game. And I think if you get somebody like an Adam Troutman, you're certainly moving in that direction.
Well, the Bills are on the clock at pick 86, meaning we're just one pick away from New England's at 87. And guys, I just want to quickly talk about how we talked to Josh Uche on a conference call a couple minutes ago, and a couple of his awesome comments about how the Patriots are the absolute most perfect fit for him. He said a couple explicitives in there, that he's a hard worker and the Patriots work their butts off. you know what I'm trying to say. But it seems like Uche is really excited for his opportunity to play in Foxborough. He said he's been playing as the Patriots in Madden the last couple of weeks, so he's excited to join the group.
Yeah, I asked him actually about how excited he was and what he thought about playing with the likes of Dante Hightower and Devin McCourty. And he said, I've been playing the Madden defense, and one thing I can tell you, they're always in their right position. They're always doing their own job and not playing out of position. I found that fascinating, because when pressed about that, playing Madden, he said that, no, I wasn't just playing the Patriots in Madden. I was playing a lot of different teams, most of the teams in the NFL, playing their Madden defense and learning a lot. And I just found that to be kind of like next level insight into
not
this.
To cut you off your tracks, but the Patriots are officially on the clock, guys. Are we thinking tight end? A couple people in the comments also bringing up Hunter and Harrison Bryant at tight end, both options, as well as Troutman on the table. It'll be interesting to see where they go here.
Yeah, so the Bills are taking Zach Moss, the running back out of Utah, at 86. So the Patriots have their pick of the litter here outside of Cole Kmet at tight end, if that's the direction that they want to go. I've been a Troutman guy from the beginning, so I'm going to stick to my guns on that pick. I just think that in terms of his fluidity and ability to run routes, he's the best tight end in the class with that combination of size and route running capabilities. I think there are other guys that might be a little bit more explosive in the passing game. He's a kind of a one-track runner. He's not necessarily the guy that comes out of his stance with a ton of explosiveness or is able to change gears and stuff like that and really turn it on down the field. But he's got smoothness to his game, and he's got great footwork at the top of his route and ability to set up the defensive backs can come in and out of his breaks. And you put that on top of the fact that he's 6'5", 255 and can put his hand in the ground and block a little bit as well. And he just kind of, sounds like a Patriots sort of tight end. But again, Harrison Bryant, I think, is another guy that they might be interested in as well. And he's more of a polished route runner, very good at the line of scrimmage, can really beat press coverage with his route releases as well. So I think that there's a lot of great options. Oh, the pick is in for the Patriots.
Yep.
They took another edge defender. That's interesting.
And Fernie Jennings. Am I saying that right?
And Fernie Jennings from Alabama. So this is a Bama pick. This is Nick Saban coming to Foxborough here. I think the biggest thing with Jennings that you look at is really the leadership qualities, permanent team captain in 2019. On top of that, he also has the length and strength at the point of attack that you're looking for, sets a very hard edge. He's the type of guy that the Patriots love on that strong side edge position. I think Uche is a guy that they probably pencil in as more of a weak side edge defender, him and Winovich kind of being those speed rushers on the backside of plays that can run and chase down ball carriers, whereas Jennings is more of that stout play side run defender that can really hold up and lock out some long arms. He's built and has very good arm length, and he has that ability to really hold up at the power of the point of attack. So the Patriots go bookend edge rushers here and basically lock down that position after losing Van Noy and Jamie Collins.
Well, and obviously the Patriots have to be thinking about what Derrick Henry did to them in the playoff game. And that is something that makes me wonder just how much a loss like the Tennessee Titans impacts how the Patriots approach the offseason and rebuilding the defense. Clearly, they're putting a lot of stock in rebuilding the defense, which is what I kind of thought at the beginning of the draft, but I didn't think it would be a matter of them taking defense with their first 3 picks, but that's the way that they've decided to go. And I just wonder, Evan, with a guy like Anthony Jennings, would he have made a difference in terms of helping to set the edge in the run against Derrick Henry in the playoff game?
I think maybe a little bit. I mean, listen, I think the best thing with Jennings, like I said, is that length and the hand strength, right? So he's got that ability really to extend his arms out against blockers and then throw them off with his hands because he's got that good upper body power. But I think that maybe not with the Derrick Henry type of situation, but overall, this kind of projects to me like Kyle Van Noy's replacement more so than Uche did. Uche, I think, is more, like I've been saying, that weak side player that's going to be on the opposite side of the tight end, that's going to get one-on-ones on the backside, and then is going to chase down and run down the line of scrimmage to eat up run and plays from behind. Whereas I think Jennings can play that play side, strong side edge role that Van Noy was playing. Also, one thing to point out with Jennings, a big reason why he's dropping here is a 2018 season-ending knee injury. That was a big deal for him in college. He missed the national championship game or one of their playoff games. I think it was in 2018, and it was very disappointing to that entire program. You kind of saw his teammates rally around him and just the impact that he had on his teammates from missing that game. And they all kind of were very, heartfelt about the situation. So he's got all types of Patriot leadership. I'm sure Nick Saban also, like I said at the beginning, signed off on this pick.
Wasn't only a knee injury, it was artery damage and a blood clot. This was a very serious injury.
Very serious, correct.
Yes, and the fact that the Patriots feel that strongly about his football instincts to, I wouldn't say look past that. Certainly they knew about it, but to take that into consideration and still take the player really, I think, shows you what they feel about his football instincts and his ability as another Bama defensive player to contribute pretty right away.
Jennings, another edge rusher to the Patriots. So they use their first 3 picks of the 2020 NFL draft on defensive players. Guys, before we sign off here, before the Patriots potentially final pick of the 3rd round at 100, does this mean that the Patriots are absolutely going offense from here on out, at least for tonight? Or do you like this decision to stock up and rebuild the defense, and no worries, they can get who they want and who they think is good enough offensively at wide receiver, tight end, and therefore going forward in this draft?
Well, I think it's just a matter of them sticking with their board and sticking with value. See, I think too often we look at what the Patriots need, and we look at that from the outside. They do not look at that at all. They don't have that perspective at all. They don't look at it like a fan. They don't look at it like some of us in the media who think that they have holes here and there. That's not how they're using the draft. Really never has been.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, I would love to see them get some skill players in here, obviously, especially at tight end. But I think what we're seeing is exactly what Trag said, is that they want to build up this defense. They want to make sure that they're set at all three levels of this defense, because that's probably going to be what they're going to lean on most in 2020 and maybe even 2021 also, as they kind of develop Stidham and the rest of the offense around him. So I think that's really a testament to what they felt about the defense side of the ball and the boogeymen. You know, the boogeymen leave town and they know that they need to go out and restock the linebacking core, and that's what they've done.
Well, with Troutman in both Bryants, that's 3 solid tight end options for the Patriots that potentially could still be on the board at 100. We'll be joining you back here live before that pick, assuming the Patriots hold on to it. So stay tuned on our Twitter at Patriots CLNS for the link. We'll see you then.